The theme I want to look at in this video is the theme of playing an early knight e5. Now, of course, whenever you put a pawn on d4, you're always thinking of putting a knight on that e5 outpost. E5 is an absolutely fabulous square for the knight. It attacks both the queen side and the king side. But what really struck me about Capablanca was that he was actually aiming to establish a knight on e5 as quickly as possible in all sorts of positions. Even before he'd fully completed his development, he was looking to establish that knight on e5. I mean, obviously for him this was a really big positional gain, and he felt that it should be gained as quickly as possible. I'm going to show you a few games from throughout his career, in actual fact, in different sort of positions. Some queen's pawn openings, and also some king's pawn openings, like the French and the Caro-Kann. Let's have a look at our first example from a game in Havana, 1913, actually quoted in one of Capablanca's books. The first few moves of a d takes e4 French, and here, Capablanca could play bishop d3, bishop c4, bishop g5, bishop e3 is also quite normal. But here, no, establishes his knight on e5 as quickly as possible. And the idea, in actual fact, here is that he wants to get this attacking structure on the king side, with a queen coming to h3 as quickly as possible, the bishop coming to d3 as well. I mean, black's play is not fantastic here, but well, obviously worked out very, very nicely for Capablanca. Here we see something slightly different. From a Caro-Kann, we reach an IQP position. Yeah, black's not playing this in the most critical way. But here, once again, I mean, on the previous move here, white's got an awful lot of normal moves. Queen e2, rook e1, bishop g5. Capablanca chooses for knight e5. Get that knight onto its beautiful outpost as quickly as possible. We see here the next example is from 1919. Another French, the same variation that we saw before. Here going knight e5, and again this same scheme. Bishop coming to d3, the queen coming to f3 with a bishop on g5, and then queen on h3 just to weaken up and soften up the black king side. I mean, obviously Capablanca had thought of this idea of knight e5 in combination with these moves, and just very, very effective, of course. Then we get an example from 1920, and I think this is actually the first one I saw, and this one really struck me, although maybe it looks a little bit less dramatic than the others. Again, one of Capablanca's favourite schemes with white, a sort of queen's pawn opening with the knight coming to d2. Actually a favourite nowadays of Mark Hebden, the English GM. And in this position, very normal move would be rook c1, maybe queen c2 even a move like a3. But Capablanca's first reaction is, let me get my knight onto e5, onto that central outpost. Didn't actually work well for him in this Simmel game, but just very interesting to see that this was the first thing that he thought of. We're now moving on to 1936, so actually his peak career. I mean, 1936, this was really the moment when he won 2 enormous tournaments and was really beating up all the young guys who were trying to replace him at the top. Here a Dutch, completely different opening. And what's Capablanca doing here? I mean, rook d1 is normal, bishop f4, bishop g5, all perfectly good moves. No, Capablanca's establishing his knight on e5 very, very early. Again, it's a move that I think most players would play just a little bit later, but Capablanca wanted to play it straight away. Moving on now to a game from 1938, and in here and also in the next game, we're going to see how Capablanca plays against the Schlechter Slav. This is the name for this little combination of a Grunfeld type opening with g6 and this c6 d5 pawn structure on the queen side. Capablanca here trying to play knight e5 here as quickly as possible. No kingside development, no bishop e2 and castles first of all. Knight e5 and then cement it with f4. He wants to get that in straight away, and then afterwards he'll move into to his development. And just take this example again from 1938. Here he doesn't even bother with queen b3 first. Knight e5, bang, straight away, and then f4, and then he moves in with queen b3. Now, I mean, what is the value of this knight e5 move? Well, I mean, there are plenty of good moves, at this stage, move 6, move 7. So I mean to say that knight e5 is better than, bishop d3, bishop e2, or all the other possibilities. You can't really say that. But this was obviously something that was extremely important for Capablanca. He really felt that establishing a knight early on e5 would give him a very good platform for the rest of the game. And it's very, very interesting to see that. And I certainly know that if ever I come up with an early knight e5 in one of my games, I'm definitely going to be thinking, hey, okay, I'm playing like Capablanca in this game. And well, that's not a bad feeling, is it? I mean, I'm maybe happier to play like Capablanca than just play like good old me, really. So, well, that's it for this theme. But we're going to have a look at another theme involving knight e5 in another video.